Hey there, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're going to talk about revisions. So stick with me. Okay, so what do I mean about revisions? So this really comes into play when you are writing your manuscript. It's all about manuscript at this point. So there's two forms of revisioning or reviewing what you have written, and that's during your writing phase and then during the editing phase. And that could be through all three, depending on what types of editing choices that you end up making. So in writing, you're writing your manuscript, and the way I write is I have an idea and then I create an outline, and I'll do a whole different video based on that because I think that's really important to me, and I am deeply passionate about my outlining process and my writing style. So save it to another time. So in this case, when you are writing your manuscript, right, you go through and you're writing, and then you will finish your book. And even sometimes when you're writing, you're going to go back to the beginning and reread it all the way up to the point of where you were, so that you know that everything is pretty much in sync and is flowing. In some cases, you will make notes or comments in places. So for example, if I'm like in the flow of writing and I know I need to come back to a particular place to explain something, I just don't want to lose my train of thought. I'm like, I'm in a zone right now, so I'm going to leave a comment and I'm going to come back. Sometimes the comment may not be as detailed enough or informative enough for me to kind of say, okay, what was I coming back here for? So in my writing, before I finalized my manuscript and was ready to send it off to developmental editing, I think I read my book 10 times at least, and that's okay. Let me tell you something. If you can read your book, and my book is 466 pages, okay? So this was a big read, and so when I was reading it, it didn't take me long, right? Because sometimes I'm reading through things and then I'll read through a few other bits. So it wasn't like it was taking me weeks and weeks and then until we get through it or whatever. Every time I read that book, I got more and more excited. I got more and more validated. I got more and more inspired. I got new ideas as far as how this book would end and how the next one would lead off. So revising your book and rereading it several times over and over, huge plus. Do it as much as you need to, and don't get distracted or kind of lose faith in the fact that you're rereading it because you think you're doing something wrong. That's totally part of the process, and it's enjoyable. The other part to this is when you move to the editing phase. So, oh my gosh. So I did developmental editing. I will continue to do developmental editing because it's a great piece of work. I think I learned a lot from it even in this second phase in my sequel, but I know I'm kind of gonna need some help anyway. But the way developmental editing works, they read in batches. So they edit in batches because there's so much. And then what they'll do is they'll come back with the revisions, the questions, and then you either address them, you may have some other kind of feedback behind it or whatever, but you will then read what they're saying because they may have misunderstood the point that you were trying to make. So you'll answer that, but then you'll have to go back and read above that to figure out where to fit in that explanation so that the piece that they're having a question about is clearer by the time that they get there, okay? And then the next thing you know is they go to the next set of batches, the next set of batches, and so they're rereading your book about 10 times as well. So they're rereading it, you're rereading it. So now by the time you get even to, oh my God, from developmental editing, at this point, I've reread my book now 20 times. Okay, then I hit into copy edit and proofreading. And so by the time I went into copy edit, copy edit is really you get two chances. And that's how copy editing works. That's how my copy editor works. It works for me, it's fine because I went through the bulk of developmental editing. So copy editing, they go through it once, give their comments about it, you either explain, you correct, you send back the revisions and your explanations between that. You have a second run through. They either go, oh, got it, maybe you should do this. Or, you know, they'll add the final piece of it, and whatever you want to do with that is what you want to do with that. So in copy editing, I reread my book twice, right? So I went from 10 to 20 to 22. Proofreading, I didn't really have to I did reread it really once, if you will, because it was just more about, I have so much respect for English majors, passive and active and adverbs and all of these grammatical corrections that they gave me. Phenomenal. I love you guys. I trust you, and I will continue to use the copy editor and proofreader. I don't know, not sure if I'm kind of on the edge with the development editor, and I'll dedicate another video on why that is. But in any case, that is how something that you will expect when you are writing your manuscript and going through the editing process. Expect to reread your book in double digits. All right, no matter how long it is. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If not, you know, let me know if you want to hear more information about that. If so, hit that thumbs up. Please share, please subscribe, and get the word out, folks. Drop a comment. I love to hear it all. As always, keep moving.